Words alone don't really do the job of describing just how badly Maui has burned this week.
Oh, we made it. We're gonna line on the road now pretty soon. Oh, somebody down right now.
The disaster proving to be the deadliest wildfire here in the U.S. in years.
Hey, if anybody's still out here, it's time to go!
Utter devastation on the Hawaiian island of Maui. At least 53 people are dead.
It's been about 3 days of hell now. Dangerously strong winds have fueled monstrous wildfires, destroying entire neighborhood blocks, killing dozens of people, and seemingly catching an entire state off guard.
Hi, my name is Mason Jarvie. I'm a resident of Lahaina for about 18 years, and we just had the worst disaster I've ever seen. All Lahaina is burnt to a crisp, and it's like an apocalypse.
The scale is what makes this so devastating. You know, once upon a time, wildfires were actually quite rare in this part of the world. Maybe lightning or even lava might cause a fire. But over the decades, people have tracked these wildfires, now mostly human-caused, and the average area burned each year spiked 5-fold in the last century.
Tiari, have you ever experienced or seen these kinds of wildfires before?
Yes, in 2018, we did have family members lose their homes. Like he mentioned, this isn't new to West Maui, you know, where the combination of wind and drought obviously creates fires, but never at this scale. Never would I imagine that I lived through seeing my entire hometown go to dust. And that's basically what Lahaina is today.
So take a look at this. The BBC put together a slider, kind of a before and after of a very popular, very busy part of Lahaina, which is in southwestern Maui. So, you know, this right here is the Lahaina banyan tree. You know, if you've ever been there, it's this kind of living, breathing testament to just how storied this part of town is. It was planted in the late 1800s. The oldest, certainly the largest living tree in the state. The harbor is right here. You know, you can buy ice cream here. There's a restaurant just across the street. This is a surf shop, I think. You know, most of these are just homes, but there's a church right here with a cemetery right beside. But this is what Lahaina looks like now. And you can see almost everything just gutted. The banyan tree may survive. You know, it was completely burned, but those roots go pretty deep. But everything else, I mean, I'll just do a quick back and forth. This is what Lahaina looked like before the fire. This is what it looked like after. It's all gone.
I was the last one off the dock when the firestorm came through the banyan tree and took everything with it. And I just ran out to the beach and I ran south and I just helped everybody I could along the way.
He talks about how the fire ripped through the banyan tree and took everything with it.
Within an hour, the flames had moved all the way down to the end of the neighborhood.
A lot of people think dry vegetation has a lot to do with the speed of these fires. Much of the grass in Maui is a non-native Guinea grass that grows really fast. It outcompetes the local strains, and even if it rains, the hot weather dries it right up. That's pure fuel for fire. But there's also the wind.
We never anticipated in this state that a hurricane, which did not make impact on our islands, will cause this type of wildfires.
This radar map shows Hurricane Dora, that's passing from right to left at the bottom of your screen. It's almost 1,000 kilometers away from Maui, but even still, caused wind gusts on the island in excess of 100 kilometers an hour.
60 to 80 mile per hour winds helping fuel that movement of the fire over dry brush in the area. That's why it's been able to move so quickly into this residential area. And unfortunately, that's been really hampering rescue and firefighting efforts.
Those powerful winds make things really hard for firefighters. They can cause small fires to flare up, they can ground helicopters trying to water bomb an area, and they can knock down trees and power lines, blocking road access. You can see from this footage just how treacherous it can be to drive through an area, even long after the fire has moved on.
We're just at the end of our vacation here, week stay in Lahaina, Maui. Yesterday we lost power at our hotel, so we figured it would be a good idea to get to the airport early. The drive normally takes 45 minutes, took us over 3 hours to get here. Along the way, we observed several fire trucks driving in the opposite direction, heading towards Lahaina, and we did see evidence of brush fires in the dry brush in the hills.
Just go people, go, beat the horn down. Oh my God, bro. Oh.
There would have been thousands of people fleeing the western part of Maui all at the same time. You know, you may have already seen stories where people got cornered by the flames and had no choice but to flee towards water.
Victims jumped into the ocean to escape the flames and smoke.
We got really real when we saw the flames, and I had to think fast. We had to get out. We left our vehicle, and myself, my wife, and our 5 kids, we all got in the ocean. We found a floating board that we hung onto, and we think we were out there floating, and it was just so surreal, and everything was burning around, explosions, cars blowing up. We stuck together, we held on, and we're not gonna die this way.
But most others, if they don't have family or friends to go to, head to one of several evacuation centers that have opened up.
All right, Sam here, and I am in Wailuku, Maui, and what you can see here behind me is one of at least 5 different evacuation centers. Lahaina is still getting evacuated. Look, we've got buses just pulling people up, so they're still evacuating Lahaina.
This is not a safe place to be. On certain parts of Maui, we have shelters that are overrun. We have resources that are being taxed.
For those evacuees, the urgency has shifted from escape to just getting a hot meal. When there's no room, people sleep in their cars.
Yeah, my name's Jamie Brown. I live in Lahaina, Maui, Pulamana neighborhood. Got home about 4 o'clock yesterday from work. Smoke in town. My son and his girlfriend and 2 kids were at the house, and we evacuated immediately. No cell phone coverage, no internet, no way to contact the outside world, and we got to this side of the island about midnight last night. My wife and dog, and slept in the parking lot at Whole Foods. Woke up this morning and got on our phones to pictures of our house, just down to the slab. Nothing but smoke, cinders. Came with the clothes we got on and a dog and 2 kids. Here we are.
There are countless people right now who are still desperately trying to reach out to loved ones to see if they're okay. But for many, that is next to impossible.
Anything that was on the ground that assisted in getting any kind of communication has been burnt or partially burnt or destroyed.
Emergency crews have gotten by with radios or satellite phones. Crews are working block by block trying to restore power and communications. But the fear is that because critical fiber optic cable was damaged, it could take weeks, maybe even more than a month, to fully repair.
I live in the town of Lahaina, and we did have to evacuate my home because the town is gone.
There's no way around it. Lahaina is a war zone. The lucky ones are stranded at airports, waiting for a flight home. The unlucky ones have lost their homes, their pets, their families, or even their own lives. Rebuilding will take years. But the concern now, save as much as possible. Save lives, save property, and save hope that tomorrow will be a better day.